Good afternoon, Tom Johnson, along with our Mayor, Sue Kempf. Sue, good to see you.
Good to see you, Tom.
Another edition of Fair Game Laguna. It's so good to have you here. Lots going on around town. Well,
Yep,
I know one thing you've been working on is the Stewardship and Visitor Impact Ad Hoc Committee.
that's
Uh,
right.
you and I think Mark Orgel have been
Right.
working on that for the last couple of months. Can you kind of bring us up to date on what's going on with that?
Yeah, I think Mark is going to give an update on Visit Laguna at, I think, the next council meeting. We talked about it. He mentioned it very briefly during council member comments in our council meeting last night. But yeah, he's working on the reorganization of Visit Laguna, and it's going quite well. He's got the stewardship plan that he wants
Right.
to implement, so they're just trying to figure out how to best structure that organization. So we'll hear more about that, on the 22nd in our next meeting. In the meantime, I've been working on the visitor impact planning for, mainly, middle of June, all of July, and first part of August is where we're having what we call the surge planning, and we're working on addressing all the visitor impacts for that period of time because that's when we get really slammed from visitors.
Great. Well, people should be, I know they're always kind of apprehensive about Visit Laguna, but good stuff happening over there. And especially if people haven't read about it, the new voices that you're bringing on board. So lots going on there, and we'll look forward to that update.
Yep.
Moving on to the council got together the other day and authorized to back the Prop 4.
Yeah. Proposition 4, it's called,
It's the drinking, it's safe
yeah,
drinking, wildfire prevention, and
yeah,
the
drought
commitment.
preparedness and clean
Yeah,
air bond act. Yeah, and we signed that. And in that proposition, it's a $10 billion bond. And the reason we signed on for it is the city can benefit from direct financial support for climate related projects and things like wildfire. So that's why we signed on to it.
nice.
Yeah,
Well,
it's good. It's a good
speaking of
plan.
fires, um, the SCE came out with an update on the electrical fire, the coastal fire, and what
Yep.
caused that. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so that fire was on May 11th in 2022, and we called it the coastal fire. And the cause of the fire was under investigation since that fire happened. When that fire occurred, Edison immediately reported unspecified circuit activity in that area, and that fire was also caused the loss of 20 homes in Laguna Niguel, and 11 more were damaged. And it burned 202 acres. It was very significant. So they just announced yesterday, the OCFA, after their investigation, determined that it was an Edison caused fire. And apparently there was some sparking on the pole, which caused brush on the ground to catch on fire. And that's what started it. Yeah, these above ground power lines, they're a problem.
And that's so why we have to be on guard. I know there's been some discussion one way or the other about, do we have a fire issue in town or not? But it's like, one of the comments made is like, we haven't had any deaths, and great, that's great news because we've taken control of the issue and worked hard to keep it there. And I think we really need to double up on that effort and keep going in that direction.
Right. And it's an
Um,
important issue there. There is no minimal fire risk. There's fire risk here. And we just need to be cognizant of it. We just need to keep working on it.
have a fire prevention week coming up, and it's going to be in town. Is it this weekend?
So it's Saturday at Fire Station 1, which is down at City Hall from 9 to noon. And I hope people can come by, and because the fire department's going to be really good at giving you some tips, giving residents some tips on, how to best protect your home from fire and to prevent, fire, vulnerabilities to fire in your homes.
Okay, now I want to give a little tip out here. Being a grandfather of a 7, 5, and a 4, if you really want to score points with your grandchildren, put them in the car, take them down to something like that. There's nothing they like better, except maybe a trash truck. But seeing the fire engines
Yeah.
is really something special for them.
Yeah, and the fire department personnel are so good with the kids. They're great anyway, but they're
Yeah,
so good with the kids. It's really a nice experience for them when, yeah, when you see, because they give them the little hats and the badges and
yeah.
show them the fire truck, and it's exciting.
It's fun to be a kid in those kind of on those kind of days. Hey, listen, I just wanted to bring you up to date on something. Kind of an unfortunate event happened in town the other day. The golf coach at Laguna Beach High School, his name's Sean Quigley. He's been around town for a while. His wife is a math teacher in town. Sean was biking down to the beach, got hit by a car. Don't know fault or anything like that. Not trying to assign any blame, but he's in bad shape. He broke his C7 vertebrae. He has major medical issues. He's basically fighting to stay alive. There's not like a 5% chance. He's had 3 surgeries. In Stu News on Friday, we are going to actually put a GoFundMe account name into it. And I really hope, readers and maybe you can spread the word in town. It's really something we should get around.
Yeah, that's a horrible situation. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're hoping for the best for him and his family.
Yeah. It's one of those things that, unfortunately, that happens in active towns. We get people out on bikes. We have people out doing fun things. And most of the time it turns out great. It's that one time it doesn't that is
Yeah,
unfortunate.
that's extremely sad.
Anyway, Sue, I always appreciate you taking time to sit down and talk to us. And perhaps I'll see you Saturday at the fire
Oh, I'll
prevention
be there. I'll be there.
with your fire cap on, hat on.
That's right.
Okay. See you then.
Thanks, Tom.